Hello, grade 3 scientists. I'm very excited about our STEM challenge for this term. For 2 weeks, we're going to look at our STEM challenge, which is exploring with shadows. Now, before we can explore with shadows, we need to know what shadows are, right? I think most of us have a good idea. Now, a shadow is when light does not pass through an object and a dark region is formed behind it. I've got my spotlight here behind me, and it is throwing the light from behind me, and the light rays are coming from behind me. So in front of me, my shadow will be on the table, okay? Because light cannot pass through me, so in front of me, there will be a dark region. Now, at the moment, light is coming from the ceiling, from my kitchen lights, and from behind me. So there is actually a few shadows that has formed. You'll probably see shadows over my shoulder from different objects around the room. And also, I will have more than one shadow because there's more than one light source. Okay? Now, an opaque object is an object that does not let light through it. We are opaque. And my little clay model in front of me is opaque. It doesn't let light through it. So that's one property of a material, if it's opaque. Another property could be that if it was transparent. I'm thinking of glass, for example. Glass is transparent. Light passes through glass, and that means that it will not have a shadow like an opaque object. There will not be a dark region behind it because light can go through it. That is transparent. Then we also get translucent. Translucent is when some light can pass through an object, but not everything. Okay? So a translucent object will have a faint shadow because some of the light didn't go through it. So there's a little bit of a dark region, but some light did go through it. So the shadow is not very dark. Okay, now we're going to focus on opaque objects. Opaque objects that does not let light through, because that gives us the best shadow, right? And we're going to explore a little with shadows. Now let's get back to my awesome clay man here. I used my character strength of creativity to create my little clay man. I think if I spend a bit more time on him, I'll be able to make him better. I can give him hands and fingers and feet, and I can make his neck a little bit better and maybe give him some abdominal muscles. Right, now we're going to explore with making objects during this project. We're going to use clay and we're going to create an object, okay? Now, some of you are thinking, oh, I don't have clay at home. I have put a recipe for Play-Doh in the lesson plan, so you can even make the clay before you make your model. So that is why this project is a 2-week project, because there's quite a lot of things to do in this project, okay? So if you do not have clay, it's great to make plasticine, to make some clay, Play-Doh, to make some Play-Doh, and before you use it, you can even color it. Look at the recipe, you'll see what to do, okay? So that is one of the things that you're going to do during this project. Then after you've got your clay, you're going to create a character or an object. It doesn't have to be a man, it doesn't have to be an animal, it could be any object. You can create a tree if you'd like. And then once you've done that, you're going to put your creation down on the ground. Make sure you've got, or on a table, make sure you've got a light source. And then we're going to look at the shadow that is formed. I'm going to just lower my camera so you can look at the shadow of my little man here. Right now, at the moment, you can see his shadow is very clear in front of him because the light is coming from behind. He's actually got more than one shadow from the angle that I'm looking at because there's light in the kitchen as well. So that's something you're going to think about. Then once you've done that, you're going to trace your shadow and have a look at what the shadow looks like compared to your object. And I'd like you to explore with shadows here. Hence our topic, exploring with shadows. I want you to move the light source, and I want you to have a look at the different shadows that is formed. I also want you to have a look at when the light is lower down and what the shadow would look like compared to when the light is at the top. Okay? Right. So there's a couple of things that we're going to explore with this during the STEM challenge, and that is what shadows look like, but we're also going to use our math skills and our cooking skills to make some Play-Doh before we start, and we're also going to use our art skills to trace down the different shadows, and then we're going to compare the shadows with each other to have a look at what shadows look like depending on the angle of the light. And also, I want you to explore with the amount of light you're using. If you're using a spotlight like this, and it's a big light and it's close up, will that affect the shadow compared to when the light is far away and it's maybe a faint light? So there's a couple of variables there I want you to explore with. So there's lots of things that I want you to look at. So that is the amount of light, how close the light is, and the angle of the light, if it's high or if it's low. Compare those different drawings that you're going to do to see what the shadows look like depending on those factors. Okay? Right, so this is a 2-week project, and there's more than one variable that we're going to test. So usually we only have one variable, and we do it 1 week and we have a mini investigation. This is a slightly larger investigation because we're going to compare a few things. All right, so let's go over again what we're going to compare. We're going to compare the angle of the light, so if it's low or if it's high. We're going to compare the amount of light, so if it's a lot of light, a big light, or if it's a faint light. We're going to have a look at light close up compared to light far away. Okay, so there's a few things I want you to explore with, right? And do those drawings. Then, as an optional task, I want you to, after you have created your creation, use your character strengths of creativity and also your writing skills. And you're going to write a story about a main character that has been created. So you're going to create a main character for your story, and then you're going to write a story with it. Okay? It's an open-ended task. You can choose your setting. You can choose the plot. You can be as creative as you want with your story. All right? After you have created your main character. All right? Now, there is a slideshow presentation that I want you to have a look at. It's very important and shows you step by step what to do. All right, it breaks the task down into step 1, step 2, and step 3. And on slide 14, it also explains the extra activity, the writing task for you. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful time with this. I love STEM projects because I know our learning is all mixed, and we get to explore with many things and learn many things, not just one focus. Okay, have a great time. I look forward to seeing you on Monday, the 8th of June at 11 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to go over some of the concepts that we have learned this term. And I will also check in with you during week 13 to see how you're getting on with this project and if there's any support that I can give you with it. Okay? Have fun, enjoy it, and remember, I'm just an email away if you need me. Rinus.Steen@ais.ae. Take care, stay safe.